What's up, guys? Metapunk here. Today I want to talk about different Black Swan events that I see taking place sometime in the near future. Alright, so this is like a part two of the last Black Swan video that I did. That video is more on a lot of the insolvencies that I see happening in the cryptocurrency space. But now this video is more on like different macro events that I see happening across the world. And I just see a lot of things picking up in terms of like natural disasters or just other random Black Swan events. So recently we've been seeing a lot of system outages or just different blackout scenarios. So first we had this one event where a lot of flights in the United States were delayed after the FAA had a system outage. So this whole thing started on January 10th, which was Tuesday night, and then it didn't get fixed until Wednesday morning. And this whole event caused up to 1,300 flight cancellations and over 9,000 delays by Wednesday morning. And then yeah, this event wasn't just in the United States. It spread all the way over to Canada. So this is like one event of just having a system outage, and I see a lot more catalysts happening in the future as well. Also, last month in December, there were a lot of blackout and power outages in North Carolina and just the Carolina area in general. So that's another event that took place. Even in certain European countries, last month in December, there were a lot of blackouts and system outages. Specifically in France as well, I saw a lot of events taking place in December in France. And then we're still facing that war in Ukraine. There's a lot of system outages taking place over there as well. And then we also have the catalyst of China invading Taiwan, but just similar to the Russia and Ukraine war, because Russia doesn't like how Ukraine is relying on the West to do trade and then just following a lot of Western policies. And then that's the same thing with China and Taiwan. China doesn't like how Taiwan is kind of relying on the West for trade and just overall policies. Also, you have states over in Western US, like California, that are facing a lot of landslides and just massive flooding. And a couple months back in December, around the Midwest and the Eastern U.S., there was a lot of heavy snowstorms. So overall, we're just seeing a lot of extreme weather that's been taking place the past few months. And while this is happening, we're seeing a shift in a lot of policies. So I think due to all these natural disasters, a lot of our leaders and governments are kind of pointing towards climate change due to these natural disasters and all this extreme weather. So now we're seeing policies like banning gas stoves, and a lot of global leaders are saying that due to climate change, we might see like a climate pandemic. Okay, so going back to the cyber event, this is the old post I created back last year around this time, and this talks about preparation for a cyber pandemic. So there was an event called Cyber Polygon. It's like a cybersecurity event that placed a lot of trials for different cyber attacks. So some key things that they said: security risks are growing with cyber criminals actively exploiting vulnerabilities in the new cloud environments. Ever prepping for a cyber pandemic that would wreak havoc all over society. This year's installment of Cyber Polygon cybersecurity training exercise will focus on sectors engaging with cloud services such as finance, retail, healthcare, transportation, commodities, public organizations, and more. What if a company's operations are suspended over a cyber attack? So overall, we're just seeing a lot of different catalysts taking place. So all these natural disasters is kind of leaning towards our governments and policymakers leaning towards some sort of change in climate change. And then we have different war catalysts. We still have the Russian and Ukraine conflict, and then now possibly the China and Taiwan conflict that's been taking place for the past few months. And then now we're seeing a lot of system outages, which could lead to some sort of cyber pandemic. In my video in the fourth industrial revolution, I kind of talked about different cyber attack events that's taking place. So that's one video I recommend you watching if you haven't already. And for this cyber pandemic article, I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. And this website, Sociable, is an interesting website. They talk about a lot of different events that are taking place in the world that I just don't really see talking about in the mainstream media. So this is one website I recommend checking out. I'll leave it in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. So going to different catalysts in the cryptocurrency space, you see that Crypto.com will delist Tether in Canada to comply with Ontario's regulators. So seeing something like this, there was always talks of Tether being taken down. And I think if that were the case, that's one massive Black Swan event that can take place in the cryptocurrency space, because a lot of liquidity and a lot of money comes from Tether. So if you look at Tether's market cap, it's right now $66 billion, which is a lot of money, because if you look at the overall market cap of the cryptocurrency market, it's a little under 1 trillion. So having that money taken out will take a big chunk out of the cryptocurrency market cap. And the problem is a lot of exchanges and a lot of cryptocurrencies are pegged to Tether. So it's just going to lead to an overall cascading event in the cryptocurrency market. Also, the SEC is charging firms like Gemini and Genesis for the sales of unregistered securities. So, also, I still think that the SEC is going to go after a lot of different cryptocurrency exchanges. The weird thing is, um, I feel like they go after all these random exchanges, like when it's too late, because how come they haven't gone after FTX when it crashed? So, I just find that weird. But yeah, overall, I just see a lot of crypto projects and just crypto firms being attacked by the SEC. I want to show a video that I posted on my Instagram page a while back. This is from Stellar's official YouTube page, so I'm gonna put the full video in the description. I'm just gonna show a snippet of what I posted. I just think it's important to show it because I think it's gonna be relevant to what we see in the future and a lot of events that are taking place.
The world is full of tensions, all simultaneously pulling on the fabric of our financial system.
Hola, Ma. ¿Todo bien? ¿Qué pasa?
Mira, estoy acá afuera del banco, del cajero electrónico. Ah, pero está cerrado. ¡Qué porquería! ¡Qué porquería! ¿Pero qué están haciendo? Déjenme pasar, que necesito sacar dinero.
L'avertissement intervient après que plusieurs rapports ont fait surface sur des voyageurs qui se font voler de force leur argent à des
And
barrages.
that is exactly where we see change peering through. Change that is powered by those who have the skills to create it. Change that includes the unincluded. A change that enables all the financial world has to offer to anyone, anywhere. Driven by technology that helps people.
Okay, so I wanted to go back to this post because if we have some sort of cyber attack, it's going to affect finance, retail, healthcare, transportation, commodities, public organizations, and more. So if we have cyber attacks and people can't access their bank accounts, it's going to lead to a lot of bank closures. So you have these cyber attacks, and then on top of that, just overall we're seeing a lot of insolvencies in banks and just businesses in general. So I think that video is kind of like a precursor of what to expect in the future. So there's an interesting connection to this, and this is something that XRP Vale was talking about in one of his videos. So shout out to him. I wanted to do research on Stellar and some of their solutions, so I found this. So this kind of goes more into the MoneyGram partnership, teaming up with Stellar and Circle, which is the company behind USDC stablecoin, and refugees. They all came together to introduce Stellar Aid Assist, and this delivers relief funds quickly, affordably, and efficiently to individuals in crisis. Apparently, this was actually used in Ukraine. The United Nations sent Ukrainians USDC that they can easily convert into local sovereign currencies, so they can get this digital USDC and then convert it to physical fiat. So it's like an interesting use case of Stellar right here. This kind of goes more into what the Stellar Aid Assist is. So this is going to pioneer the future of aid delivery. This is a first of its kind blockchain solution to deliver instant and transparent digital aid at scale. So an explanation of how they explain this, they state that cash-based interventions serve as lifelines to millions worldwide in support of basic needs. Stellar Aid Assist leverages the power of the Stellar network and the ecosystem built around it to get money in the hands of those that need it very quickly and at low cost. It's fast to deploy and can scale quickly to meet the moments of crisis. So how it works, they leverage digital stablecoins or issue their own assets. They distribute funds to approved recipients over the Stellar network. It aids recipients to receive funds instantly in digital wallets. It can enable recipients to cash out the funds when needed in multiple ways. And then recipients have local currencies that they can spend. So getting that digital USDC and then converting it into real cash. So it's just a really interesting use case. I think that if we're facing a lot of crises, just from an overall macro scale, whether it's like natural disasters or just financial institutions, I think these are all catalysts that's really going to push the drive for this digital economy. And once again, like I always state, this is more of a reason to get a cold wallet, because if you have your cryptocurrency on an exchange that could possibly go insolvent, you want to have it in your own custody. So having a ledger will really come in handy, because in any event of a system outage, your cryptocurrency wallet's offline, so nothing can happen to it, can't be transferred with, and unless you give someone your private key. And just like traditional banking as well, if you could see a lot of system outages or just overall insolvencies in different banks, having cash on hand or other forms of medium of exchanges, like gold and silver. All right, so that's the end of the video. Thank you so much if you made it this far. I really appreciate it. So overall, I made this video to bring awareness of all the different events that are taking place in the world. I just think that there's so many different events and different catalysts that are taking place at one time. It's kind of hard to keep track. And overall, some of these events aren't getting the coverage that I think they should have from a mainstream sense. I'm not going to say that everything I say is 100% true. I'm just looking at these events from my perspective and how I see things taking place. So I think it's important for people to do their own research if they want to look into these things, if they weren't aware to these events. And if you do your own due diligence or your own research and, you come out with a different opinion as me, I think that's fine. I just think it's good that, people are taking the steps to do their own research or just being aware of different events that can take place, because I think it's better to be prepared for an event instead of the event taking place and then we're just overall not ready. So it's your boy Metapunk. Thank you for watching, and I'm signing out.